Welcome to Superdude channel, SuperDavedev. First of all, I want to remind you guys that on the 20th of November, the actual official Battlefield 5 release date, I will be doing a giveaway of Battlefield 5. So if you want a copy, a PC code for Battlefield 5, you have to join my live stream and you have to create an account on my website. So let's move on. This video is all about how to optimize your Battlefield 5 experience, how to get the best possible frame rates, how to get the best possible performance out of your game. So let's continue. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why am I showing you the documents folder of Battlefield 5? So you need to go to your documents folder, go to your Battlefield 5 folder, you go to settings. Now you've got all of these options. Most of them are just backups. You need to go to your profile, not your backup, but your profile. Okay, go to your profile file. I open mine with Windows Word. You select your WordPad. I mean not Windows Word, I mean WordPad. Now you've got all these options here. You've got all these options in the middle of your screen here. Now, first of all, I'm not going to show you all of these things, what to set them. What I want you to do is go to your game, make sure that you do custom settings, put everything low except for mesh. Mesh needs to be ultra, and make sure that you also select the highest frequency, the highest hertz. If you do know your highest hertz, you can manually set it here, and I will show you how to do that. So if you don't know this, Battlefield 5, they do not have a anti-aliasing switch off. So there's no way for you to turn off anti-aliasing. So what you need to do is go to here, you see GST render.anti-aliasing deferred. Now mine, it was on, I believe it was on 2. Now you have to put that on 0. It says your GT render anti-aliasing post 0. So make sure that that is 0, this is 0. So now you're turning off anti-aliasing. Now there's more anti-aliasing that you should probably look at here. So it says your console GST render.console anti-alias. Mine is on 0, of course. Now the one more thing I want you to understand, if you go to your gaming settings, like if you, okay, so what I mean is that you basically start the game. You start by Battlefield the game, you go to the options section, you go to your graphics section, right? Or display, I think they call it display. And you make sure that you check if DirectX 12, if you've got an option to select it. Some people can't select it because they don't have Windows 10. Some can select it. Now, if you don't know this, for whatever reason, some kind of partnership happened with Battlefield and Windows, and for whatever reason, now DirectX 12 is almost as good, if not better, than DirectX 11, which was never the case. So I would suggest to test out DirectX 12 in your game settings. Switch it on. You don't have to switch it on here. Switch it on in your game settings, test your game, make sure that you get good frames before you do the following steps. Okay, so now field of view, I do 74. You have to change that in your game. I would not suggest to change it here. Make sure your game runs at full screen, of course. Now, the things I want you to focus on is full screen refresh rate. Now, mine can go as high as 180. My monitor can go to 180 refresh rate. So I've set it there. I also did this here where I said GST render resolution hertz 180. This is basically your control panel, the main loading screen, the main menu screen. So instead of having 60 frames per second at your main menu screen, you can have it run at your maximum, screen hertz. It does get a little bit wonky. I did notice that even at the loading screen and the main menus, the hertz does not stay constant. It actually fluctuates. But I kept it at I changed it specifically from 60 to 180 because my monitor can do 180, can do 180 hertz. So I showed you that. So the main thing I want you to focus on here, if you have not already set your game to the lowest game quality settings, your graphics settings, if you haven't done that, you have to do that first. Test your game before you do the settings, and then go and make sure that you turn off anti-aliasing here, console, and make sure that you turn off anti-aliasing here, post anti-aliasing, and also anti-aliasing deferred. And I assure you, if you do these things, you can absolutely. Now, what I would suggest you do as well, go to your backup profile. Okay? Go to your backup profile, do the same. Okay? Just do the same thing. 0, 0 for anti-aliasing, because you need to. The main purpose of this video is to show you to turn off anti-aliasing, because that actually removes performance, that takes away unnecessary performance that you could have. And go to, okay, so unfortunately this profile backup is not what you think it is. It's not, you know, what it seems that it is. So let's say I open this, you won't even know what this really is. It's something else, physics. This is like gameplay settings, so you don't have to change that. Unless you do want to get technical and you do want to change stuff that way, I would not suggest to do that. The game is sufficient to change your gameplay settings, but focus on backup profile and profile. Profile is your most important. Backup profile is just there to make sure that if they do sync to the cloud, then the cloud will still sync to the same settings as you have set it in your folder here. So remember, this is in documents. You go to Battlefield, and that's how you do it. So hopefully that helped you. If it did, do leave a like, do leave a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. So remember, this is to show you how to turn off anti-aliasing, because remember, the game does not allow you to turn it off, and this will give you more performance. My performance went from, I would rather just create a separate recording to show you what type of frames I'm getting. My PC is very powerful. You know, for normal, like, you know, when it comes to normal PCs, my PC is very high end. So you know, I noticed that without being able to set that off, my PC was still struggling, because you would need to turn off future frame rendering to have a competitive edge. People turn on future frame rendering because it gives them that beautiful frame, that smooth frames, but they don't realize that it is causing them to not have the accuracy and the quickness with their aim that they require to be hardcore and to maybe win gun battles. So I'm just saying, make sure you turn that off as well. I'm going to show you how to set up your graphic settings quickly. Just a quick, because there's so many videos. If you want to really know how to set up your game graphic settings and specific settings in the game, go to Jack Frags. I'll leave his link in the description, but I'm just going to quickly show you. So you go to video, make sure you set your monitor to its highest possible frequency. Okay, highest possible hertz, as they call it. Brightness is completely up to you. Field of view, now I've chosen to go with Jack Frags field of view. Why? Because if you put your field of view too high, because I actually played my field of view maximum, and I noticed performance dipping quite heavily. So I decided to put it at 47, because that's a 90 field of view. Okay, so I kept it there, so at least I can realize that should be enough for myself. Everything else here, make sure you put off film grain, magenta, lens distortion, chromatic abbreviation, put it off, switch it off. ADS fields of view is, you know, these settings are your choice, but I would suggest to turn this off. I would suggest to keep this on, and I would suggest to remove motion blur, because motion blur is actually, you know, gamers don't like it, so just remove it. It's just for your own sake. Okay, now advanced settings, this is where we do it. Now I have noticed that the DirectX 12 is giving me more performance. Now maybe it will not be the same for you. Just test it out. Switch it on, switch it off. Play the game, see which settings helps you, because remember, if it's switched off, it goes to DirectX 11. If it's switched on, it goes to DirectX 12. Remember, it also depends on your Windows model. If you don't have Windows 10, you most likely cannot do DirectX 12, because as far as I know, it's only Windows 10 that's got DirectX 12. High dynamic range, you know, that's completely up to you. It all depends on your monitor. Okay, so if you don't have, most gaming monitors do not have high dynamic range. They don't have it. Okay, most of it. I'm not saying yours is not. That is up to you to check. But also resolution scale. This is where people with very low budget gaming, you know, PCs, they set it to lower, and that means that their experience become more pixelated. They see more pixelated graphics. Okay. So this is completely up to you. Depends on your PC spec. But I would suggest to keep it at 100%. because I already showed you how you can set and disable anti-aliasing, which actually gives you a lot more frames. So just rewind, go a little bit forward, and you will find my, how to get to your documents folder, and how to get to the settings folder for Battlefield 5, and how to disable or switch off anti-aliasing. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I do know that's the way that I pronounce it. So future frame rendering, this is where people with low budget gaming PCs turn it on. They turn it on because it gives them more frames. Now you technically, if you want to be hardcore, if you want to get your shots and you want to be quick on your draw with your gun, you need to turn it off. You just have to. There's no choice. I have tried to see the difference. I can't, because I don't see the difference between my hand moving, my movement speed with on and off. Like, that is something you would have to go and test with a high, frames per second slow motion camera, and I just don't want to waste my time doing that. So I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to turn it off, because I know that input lag is a no-no. So turning this off means input lag is minimized, and that is a good thing. Vertical sync, you have to turn that off if you want to have more performance, of course. Put this auto. GPU memory restrictions, completely up to you, but I turn it as off. UI scale factor 50%, I believe that's default. Now here you have to do custom. Make sure that you put graphics quality as custom. Put everything low except for mesh quality, you put ultra. This is everything that JackFrax shows in his video. So please go to JackFrax's video. He goes into more detail into how you should set your game settings. And then this is the issue, anti-aliasing post-processing. Now I already showed you how to turn this off. So it looks like mine is still turned on, but it's not, because I went inside the settings and I turned it off. Now I might have to go back into the settings and turn it off again, because remember, this thing saves as you change it or go to the menu. So I might have to go back and change it again to make sure that it's turned off. Remember to put a 0. So that is it. That is all I wanted to show you. That is what I'm showing you, how to do your settings, so at least you know more or less what you need to do to get performance, and then at least you know where to go, which folder to go, how to turn off anti-aliasing, because that is really, I'm telling you from my experience, I am missing at least 40 frames per second. Now 40 frames per second for a gamer, that's a lot of frames that you can make, and I'm not lying. Not like 40 frames per second, dude. Now you know what, I will be showing you how what my frames are, but I will show you that in future episodes, because my PC is very good. It's a very good PC, and I feel like, when I started off this game and I put that future frame rendering, I was quite surprised at how much this game requires from your PC. It really needs a beefy PC, a strong processor, a strong graphics card. So yeah, that is what will give you the advantage if you really want to be a hardcore player, is to get a very good PC. Of course, everybody knows that. It's just money, right? It just depends on what your budget. But you know what? Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Stop rambling. I will stop rambling, and then hopefully this helped you. If it did help you, please leave a like and subscribe. That will really help me a lot. And see you next episode. Ciao for now.
Thank you for watching. If you like my video, why don't you subscribe?